FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
Leonardo DiCaprio, yes. Tina Fey? No, we're going with DiCaprio. Okay, so this is another non-story I was sent on, but Leonardo DiCaprio had been in this movie Titanic that many people, I'm talking to you as if you're not from this country. The Hoover thing threw me off. I was like, you know Casper Weinberger, but you're familiar with Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay. They were tight in the 80s. He was mostly his advisor on economics. So they sent me to go do a cover on Leonardo DiCaprio because Titanic had been such a big hit. Little, 16-year-old girls liked them. 16-year-old girls loved Time magazine. It was a natural fit. So I went and spent a couple days with him in Los Angeles. I was kind of excited and showed up, and I was like, what do you want to do? Let's go do something. He's like, I'm not doing anything. I said, well, let's go. Maybe we can hit on women. I'm like, I'm with Leonardo DiCaprio. He's like, oh, no, I'm not doing that. He's like, we're just going to sit and talk for 2 days. It's like, okay. So we sat in this hotel room until we became so bored of each other we started watching TV. And then we actually came across his movie, What's Eating Gilbert Grape? And he started to do an impression of himself. It was kind of interesting, but that lasted all 10 minutes, and then just got horribly bored. And he started making calls, I made calls, and he made a dentist appointment. I was like, that's it, let's go to your dentist. He was like, no way, they're going to write about what a wimp I am and how I can't handle pain. And I took Novocaine, and I was like, dude, you're making this really hard. So we went to the bathroom, and I maintained that he left his wallet open. And I saw a Ralph's Club card. I think, is that just Southern California Ralph's? Is that? Yeah, it's a supermarket chain. And he had a discount card. And this confused me greatly, because he was making, like, Hoover Institution kind of money. And so he came back, I was like, dude, you have a Ralph's Club card. He was like, oh yeah, you know how much money I've saved with that thing? And every celebrity story is, in essence, every story about an actor is a story about what fame is like. Because no one really wants to hear, everything an actor does you've already seen on screen or stage or whatever. And all the choices they made are not particularly interesting. So the only thing people are really interested, all those stories are all about what is it like to be famous, what are the implications of fame, which can be interesting and worth exploring, but it's pretty limited. So I was fascinated by the fact that people who are crazy famous go to the supermarket and use coupons. So I said, okay, let's go to Ralph's. And he said, no way. So I thought, like, a guy who has a discount card might fall for this. So I said, I will pay for all of your groceries. He's like, come on, all of them? I'm like, supermarket sweep style, 30 minutes. Anything you can pick up, I will pay for. He's like, okay, I'm in. So he calls his friend, and I'm like, sweet, Leonardo DiCaprio's friend, he's gonna be handsome. Like, he'll be cool, he'll be famous. So this guy named Ethan Suplee, who is a kind of famous actor, shows up. He plays the kind of hulking, balding brother on My Name is Earl. He's a really good actor, not a horribly handsome man. And so he shows up, and I'm like, okay, I guess we're all going supermarket shopping. So we go in, and I'm waiting for some interaction. No one recognizes Leonardo DiCaprio at Ralph's. It's later at night, it's not that crowded, and he's very excited, and they're like running around, like he's in the cart, and they're running around. I'm like, oh, you're just asking for trouble. Nobody recognizes him. And we had spent 2 days talking about the environment. That's all he cared about. And back then, like everyone else, I didn't really care about the environment. Like a couple degrees warmer, a couple degrees colder, whatever, I didn't care. So we pay for everything, no one recognizes him. I write this story in which it's largely about the environment, because I feel like I've led him to believe that. That was the honorable thing to do. And my editor looked at it and he's like, this sucks. And I said, I know. So I went back and I wrote about Supermarket Sweep. And I decided to make it just a parody of all of what now is every magazine on the newsstand. Those In Touch and Us and The Star and People magazine. So I wrote this ridiculous lead about the supermarket, and then I reprinted our Ralph's Club receipt, which I annotated as to what each purchase meant about him. And it was a nice story, and he was furious. Yeah, imagine, exactly. A journalist screwing a person over, who would have thought? It's not what you taught me. It's what the mean streets taught me. So, yeah, and to this day, it's bad. Like, I was reading his last movie, this was The Departed, he was in the cover of Vanity Fair, reading the story, and he's like, and I don't trust journalists because Joel Stein from Time screwed me. I'm like, what is going on? Why? And then every time I know someone who interviews him, someone from Time I know interviewed him, and as soon as my friend Josh showed up, he was like, you know Joel Stein? Josh is like, he's a really good friend of mine. He's like, vaguely, he works in the office. Like, guy's a bastard. Josh was like, you tell me. It's no good. He sold me, as I would have sold him, sold me down the river pretty fast.